to undertake this year's Hajj on page 15.
We're tired of Trump. He can cancel everything.
Oh, yes.
We'll live.
He would definitely will live. But for those who love to travel, no,
I have
is not
said
the
that,
end
look,
of.
if we deal with our things right here, if we seal all the loopholes and we make everybody comfortable, nobody would want to travel and go.
John, even if our things are not right here, we'll still live.
We have Banku
I don't think the Israelites, they are 40 years on the desert where they had no houses and they were moving from Egypt to the Promised Land. Though some of them died, they've actually survived.
Right.
So if you don't allow us to come, we'll
still be here. But you see, yesterday there was an advisory
I am tired
by
of
the
this
Canadian,
that canceling, this canceling, that canceling.
Yes, an advisory by the Canadian embassy. And I want to link that to what Mr. Trump says. And striking similarity in all of it is talking about our police and corruption. Extortion, that's how they put it there. Even though that advisory was not supposed to have been in the public domain, it's just strictly to Canadian residents and citizens. It has that element, and it puts our police out there in a very negative light. I mean, when the U.S. issued their advisory, they said our police is corrupt. Now the Canadian embassy, they say our police is corrupt. Why? Why? IGP. Good morning,
Johnny. Well, look, please, for Christ's sake, where is it only in Ghana that there is pickpocketing?
No.
Pockets that are picked are more in the United States or Canada or any other country than here in Ghana.
They are.
There are professionals there more than we do here. I mean, those of you who have gone there, you know.
You know.
So really, I don't see this as saying that there are pickpockets here.
I'm not talking about the pickpocketing or the other petty thievery that they talk about. I'm talking about the twist of the police.
It is true.
The first one, the U.S. wrote and said it. Now the Canadians have written. Who next?
Johnny, it is true. But I'm saying that. Why should that be a threat to people coming in here? Why? Is U.S. able to deal with every crime in the country?
Not exactly.
Yes. So we have our own challenges. They started on a point. Okay, we have also started. We'll get to where we're going.
I'm told by somebody who
paint the picture as if the whole thing is so
every Ghanaian
that don't come because your pockets will be picked. Well, don't come because money will be extorted.
Is it necessarily a travel ban? No, I don't think so.
It's not.
But they see. I've also
it's an indirect way.
I've also had a chat with somebody who served as an attaché, for the U.S. Embassy, and he says, look, the book that they gave him, it was a whole book about 400 pages of what crimes he was going to face in a certain African country. So these things do happen. They do.
Look, I tell you, Johnny, the United States and the others, what they do is that they will never put some of these pictures on their TV stations.
Definitely.
The crime and the few, those that are really, how do I put it, very big are those that they put out there. But there is crime every second in the United States. Okay?
Agreed.
So really,
agreed.
We know we have. Just like Mr. Humka Lindsay said, we know we have problems.
That one we know.
Stop whining about it.
But please,
no, it's not whining, blowing it out of proportion.
And Canada, stop blowing it out of proportion. We know we have challenges. You stop whining for us. We whine ourselves.
Our own wine.
Finally, before we go on a break, I see that the 4th August has come up on 3 of the tabloids. The UGCC has been mentioned. Are we trying to rewrite the history of Ghana? I don't know.
Is that a challenge in this 21st
century?
And our history is not correct, so we need to rewrite
Yes, you see, Dr. K.B. Asante said something. He said that this should not be our first point of call. Our first point of call should be whether we have been able to achieve our goals and vision as a country.
That's the
when
point.
independence was declared on March 1957, since then till now, what has been our goal, our vision? Have we been able to achieve that?
That's it.
I mean, I don't get this. I don't get it.
We shouldn't really delve into
because the history is there.
Exactly.
Why this time? Why the amplification? What exactly do we seek to achieve? I don't know, and somebody should explain to us what is happening.
We have a problem with sanitation, we have a problem with the health system, we have a problem with the economy, we have a problem with everything.
Jobs,
this
employment.
is certainly not a problem for me.
Definitely it's not.
Let's take a break now. We'll return shortly in a moment after this.
Jehovah, blessed be thy name, our Father. Me say our Father in heaven, says Yawanka and Yawahefa, and then no man other Nishira, Musuno Swawa Pepa, and Yana Sway, and no Wadani Sika, Yawaya Yan was a son, Eka will be Quanka and Sayan Fata, Adrenem Badam Yanama Naya Casa, as soon as Sayan Engina, when Timania member, Brown. And don't tell them money more, want to Jehovah more,
welcome back. So we're in the entertainment segment, and I'm talking to a man who always had a dream of pursuing music, but he had a life-changing fatal accident, which many would have thought in a competitive industry such as the music industry will be a dream stopper. But it wasn't for Mr. Ogidi Brown, and he went all out to pursue his dream. And he's joining me in studio. Good morning, Ogidi. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing great. You just came from Italy, or you live in Italy, that's my understanding.
I'm living in Italy.
Right.
I'm living in Italy.
And you've come to visit Ghana.
Actually, I'm here to do music.
Okay.
I'm here to do business.
Right. Yeah. Definitely, I know this is something you want to remember, but I just want people to understand your journey. How has it been for you? What exactly happened in that fatal accident that, placed you in a wheelchair?
Well, let me say, it's 2 years ago. Yeah. And it was Easter Sunday that we was going to church. And then on the way going, a call came that we have to go and pick one of our elders from the airport. He just arrived, so on our way going, the accident happened. And I went to coma for, let's say, for 2 weeks. And then I stayed in the hospital for 10 months before coming home, and I ended up in a wheelchair.
Right. But before that, were you doing music, or was just after that that you dealt?
Yeah, I've been doing music since, let me say, since from JHS, and it wasn't going on well for me, so I decided to find out something like get money to involve in it, because it was hard. It was hard to blow out if you can't invest, if you don't have money. So I decided to travel and then get something for myself and involved in music. And then accident happened, let me say.
I know with the cold weather your voice is down, but you have to speak a little higher so that my viewers can hear you, because they're very interested in your song and your story. But how has that impacted on the music, your music career? Because I know it won't be very easy moving about in a wheelchair, and so how's your support system and how has that influenced your music?
Yeah, it's one of the challenges that I'm facing, but I didn't let this situation
limit you.
Yeah. So I decided to know. Oh my, there's 20 person. There's so lot of people are more situation me, but because of let me say discouragement, or more down, they can do what they have
to do.
Yeah, some got talent than even I do, but they are always down. So I'm here to encourage people. I'm trying to do all my best, and people will learn something out from me.
Very well. So how many songs do you have out there to your credit?
Yeah, I have a song with NewDay and also Flocky Stone, the Asem song, which I talk more about the life story.
Okay.
And also recently I have One Chance that I'm promoting. One Chance, basically, I'm doing it for, I'm doing it to praise God. It's a testimony song for me.
That God gave you a chance to live. Very well. And so how are you advocating in the music industry? Because I don't know how many people who currently are in wheelchairs or have other forms of disability will venture into that department. But how would you plan to, encourage others to move into the same atmosphere, to do whatever they plan to do despite the challenges?
Yeah, it's not easy though, but you have to be a man. No matter what happened to you in life, I would say maybe my situation is different from others, but like I said, someone is working, he can do everything, but the person is depressed because of some little things that he's going through. What I'll tell the viewers is, like I said in the beginning, no matter how you find yourself in, you can do something. Try and do your best.
Anyway, do you have a fan base in Italy as well as in Ghana?
Sure.
You have a lot of followers.
Yeah, I have a lot of followers. People love my song, and I like how they relate to my song too. And I'm impressed, and it keep on encouraging me to do more.
But what exactly is your genre of music? Is it gospel? Is it hip life? Is it high life?
No, I do hip life.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can do all type of music, so all type of songs.
Do you have any awards to your credit yet? Or you're still pushing through?
I'm still pushing through. Now I'm in G8, so I don't know how the people will accept the music and how they will give me that credit.
Very well. I'd like to say congratulations. Continue pushing on. We're encouraged that you are encouraged. You don't use this as a disability to stop you from pursuing your dream. It's been lovely talking to you, Gidi Brown.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll rant with Johnny and Bright in studio. Let's hear what they have for us.
Sister, come on, give him a hands of applause. Putting a mess of was saying, I don't know what the Achame force. But this will get in that day into the Wafamina. You want to still do songs. You said they were good, I say, and then Yamena, and they want my use life one kind. And they are dominating your friend, my boss. I'm from zero to hero. Oh, Jimby, Namedia was Shame rough. Or being so doing someone Yame, I yet as someone Yame, when the market take it to a golf. Horsey.
Music there, man. Lovely one there. Right, the Friday is groovy already, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Starting for us, and okay, I nearly spoke. Let me say good morning to you, Right Reverend Dr. Daniel Sylvanus Mensah, to Anglican Bishop of Accra. 24 June was your 5th anniversary on the throne, and so far it's been so good. Congratulations to you, and enjoy. So we're ranting. The bishop has a car.
Well,
and if the car breaks down, touch wood, and it has to be towed, he will have to pay a levy. What will he say about it?
Well, the arguments about the towing levy is very exciting. I mean, people are saying, look, he said, if I buy a new car, it doesn't get to break down in maybe 2-3 years. How do I pay for it?
Yeah.
Several arguments. I don't know if they wash, but, well, that's what the people are saying. But hey, we'll see. We'll see.
Listowel Akwe is out there on the street, and there's a perception that it's already been passed. No, it's not been passed. The parliamentary committee has okayed it for the larger house to consider it. But Listowel Akwe is out there on the street ranting with the folks in Accra. Enjoy.
According to the Road Safety Management Services Limited, 22% of road accidents are caused by broken down and abandoned vehicles on our roads. The National Road Safety Commission has introduced a mandatory towing levy that will aid these cars be cleared from the roads to bring safety to driving. We are here to find out from the drivers. This is Daily Rant. Let's keep the discussion going. We're doing training, government, the new towing levy. Now, or the aban, we're doing chair.
Yo, me imagine training say, towing level, say towing levy, no, the aban. Hey, idea, government, you know, one, me imagine training, and yet, because, any say, car say, esi kwanso baby a kana e ba beto no oni na yesa e charge na yesa ko renew license and now ko to o kan ho papers e won driving license officer near the real one mimi frekurasi chebia pepem it is a meka ko sesi dompimo a ebe na towing level no ebe ba ho aba be chika no two Burkina drivers one renew on the lances eye car papers e wo Ghana ha ono no se car ni se ya me Ghana ni no me na me tie sika ma Burkina ni no me a twe ne car so atase
say bia uchu car na se car ni se si kwan ho a unji ntumu say bia driver na ehu ade yie na obetimi de akobom eti na e pese sa cars ni say ya yi ulevi na obetua no bema omoyi sa cars ni super
dabi any de car no e say ya ye wo places wo ha to yin cars na ye say ejira te say nkokọ highway a esi ho e wo nkokọ highway no so police ja ho for security eti say wo car no e say ya ni abeto ni ade akwakosi baby
yenfa ni so
adi ni say levy no ade ban fan na eye but home implications na MYA ya person yen say o car na say si ho a na car na waba toyin car na ba be tweko o tweko a charge o so charge no ne baby o de kosi no na wa dey no atua say me car say makoto brand new car store car ebedi how many years bro ni car guarantee am be 12 years and sana car na start say na da bia me tua toyin levy sa 12 years officer MYA
it unji ntumu ka say
yeah pesa levy no eno de MYA
patch your point
the maka say ne ye kwan ye nye hwe ufri kumase e ba kono ufri kono ba ya kwe ya hwe right side ensu atoma roshi na twia ma asasi na tie atwa kwan half minu mi ne na manajo eni ji se mi enu mi na wo bus me bus no bus e kokohia ho a e de na beba mo di wo yi bagana si je ntu aho ka abramo nya ho kwan what are talking about e wo se mo mi nyina ye hu ni se ade e beba no e ya ade e babua oman no
mi bi atwam na accident no etaba pa e na bebre na bon se bia unam kwan so say tractor bi na apaki nchemu wo kwan no na sa nchensu si pavement so baby ubedu no bola car bia na say na esuo for so many
o tumi se car na enye no ono ankasa betimi ayi o ma free kwan so abanu wo sa tumi no adenti na wo se car ye kwei enye road worthy ba wo ma na police for no mu janko mu se car na enye road worthy but o ma hwa ginisika ama ne nam kwan so no akwa say hwetima car ye ekum ni power your friends economy car na enye papa but ofra police for ho na twam ko gire ho okum ye dovani wa ha ya
aso ya kama sa me ka fa woni say sa dia na mo ni ban die MY ni say second say ya ba bia ka na say no omukofa omukotwe ka no na omudi kokosi omuyadi mu a nipa na wo ne ka no no ba no beji ne ka na desia ka na di wo ho no no ma hwe no ma acheke ma no wo ja say no atua no adunu ka ko wantu antua na samba pakeka na so no ma pakeka so because wo kwa Ghana sa na mo ye no o ja say
ba ye ni sa so enye bia na levy e beti wo no na e kakra ye ti kakra wa ha ye ti kakra wa ha na ye dia fo bia
me ba cho ye ti wa kakra no e bia me ka sa me mento ka o ja say me ko renew me license e bia me kwa me ka me tifie me no bi na ma me be ga se me nko ohu me ko be ga se no me lance I will not make a communion. Make a communion lance and that is Ghana me. Madam, I mean, possible.
Don't the back insurance who, don't the back road working who, and the only you through. Well, Cabaseno, you two are, ya Jusika, and one.
A do may be a bon sound and password, driver parking quine chain, SCC in the car. What you say? And no so to me the car quine shaba.
One no was a bandy of quine buy. A quine say a triple layer was one who can't afford to live. Obey, avoid it, obey free lane, some main road, no be free more other side. No quine more.
Unjin to Musu say, towing levy no ha. Na say Sebi uka no e break it down one. Ebia,
Yamna me baba man ho ka wo. Ye aban na wona said say ototo yin ka one. Ministers so ka no otoma wo mo no. Wo mo no ministers so mo ka. Nyenya ye tax na de to ka mo. Edi enti na wo person obo man ho ban avoid the accident. No antimi to ka ye betima aye say de no. Na me ba betu am sika ma no. We tua tax. Ye tua income tax. Road work. Ye aha. E buru we budu han me ye tua. to man
Free Kumasi Besa by Asamaya. Tobu to Makumako 4 and all kinds of. Says can you ever say, a dear property, no Madia or my. One year, no, I said, I DCC, quite from Kumasi to Nkaha. Quite late. And that's Shede bia ka se faso 1 cedi ya na esakran ya dia 1 cedi akase no omojo mbe 2 cedi 50 pesos shekwan shede bia ka e fa kwan so ska no mde ya dai ma ba no meyi anu ansa na levi na ba
e den biom na mpesa aban ye e di accident
fine thank you
e free kwan so
ade a
mo pesa aban e ye e fe yi
ade a wo se aban ye ne se o se oma police for no ye omo adwuma ye dika bi eche ebu kura tailor chenso won police barrier and the walk two a kwai ni so asiesie no e ya ban na sede what line no dem no wonu adwuma ye ebu kura no a ensuo to a e kwai no ye ne so anya but obitimi ma highlight wonu be wotimi e follow sa what line na dem no e dey drive hwe wotimi hia kago car na esro light ni nyina no aso na de wani
enu nya aban adwuma se
ayo hwan adwuma e police won free barrier na eba
ti wuhia obi okita tractor awmache ewe kura no aso ni light na o se police gina o sa na o
so ni ntina ye o so ni ntina ye sa de no de ba na mo aye no eni ti wonye ye kwan ni yie ma yen
very good
aban levi na de ban emwaye se o ka se ya ka na ase no obeto a onyi sa aka akro ni sika eno ano no na ba bi odikosi unyale a onwo bi onyale a akọ hospital da ebi nsi enti se o ka ase na se me o se me na me ka ase ya obeto a on charge me no mfam wane man eno ano no
abano omwa Ghana for driver for so said you can say ya immediately ni akoye free ho
enu no peso ye no so beti bibi
so ukutanchen ka na sa wo ties no ekopapai e wo kwan finfini a immediately
ya wakotwe
mamika se
we tia levi na ombe de nya
ya park wo car no na se tia roadways tia roadways e say scan no any aban oni scan you won't stop
na front in the car no one road to Ghana akwasai na me can so because road to ya ni aba di mesika na ya di mesika so so hunu but be the government Nigeria baha Nigeria onya road to ha asasi kwam akumnipa me can say ya no that's because road to na di mesika di entra di aso mo ya no say wo mo ni company no aban company ni ya ba ko na project for patrol kwam no wo mu the car bia say ya no mafra wonum no ma ba check with point no ma charge won
Committed Drivers Association of Ghana no so can say saban eyi sa amra na mfiu a omo be ko nationwide demonstration enu so no mudwin sen you can join the conversation on our website www.3news.com, on Twitter TV3 Ghana, on Facebook TV3 Ghana. This is Daily Rant. Let's keep the discussion going.
And if you are saying now car say, then you know that. But has the toe got anything to do with an in toe? Because there's toe there in toes. Anyway, so let the conversation continue. We should like to read your thoughts and comments as well on our WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter as well. 0508235228 and on Twitter at TV3 Ghana and Facebook as well, TV3 Ghana. But let's check out what's happening on the portals. And we'll start off with the very first one. A very fair story. ICC throws out Woyome's case, awards cost of $5,000 against him. That's the International Criminal Court. And they threw out the case. He wanted arbitration, but the ICC says, well, there's no element of arbitration in the contract, and so he should go back. Well, we're saddened, but we'll support Chaban and Evelyn Boache. That's according to Mawako. Jihad Chaban is sentenced to 9 months in prison. I'm sure it started, and maybe we should visit and check out what's exactly happening. Toll levy is senseless. Imani Ghana fires, and they say there's no sense in it. Fight to eliminate malaria from Ghana by 2030 intensified, and toll levy policy has not been approved. MP clarifies, but finally one arrested after near fatal clash at Aveno. Let's check out our WhatsApp. Your comments have been coming in thick and fast, and we should like for you to know what you're sending to us so others can also join you in the conversation. Noshi Dennis, TV3, you are the best of all. Alasa Wawana says the $950 billion AFB invested in Ghana is in different projects such as infrastructure, previous sectors, agriculture, energy, and transport sectors due to the great confidence and trust they have in MPP government led by the President, Nana Akufo-Addo. Long live the MPP, long live Ghana. But, Senior Bright, I'm sure you want to do this quickly.
Let's quickly deal with this story on the Heritage this morning. Terrorists to attack Ghana, UK and Canada, but some security analysts dispels terror threat. Let's speak to Kwesi Pratt, the managing editor of the Inside newspaper. He's just joined us on the phone. And Kwesi Pratt, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're doing great.
Well, try.
Right. So this news coming in, how worried should we be?
Well, first of all, we don't know what they claim to know, and that's a problem. You know, it is just possible that they have some information that we do not have. It may well also turn out that this is just a red herring. But whatever it is absolutely strange that our friends, the United States of America is friendly with this administration, Canada is friendly with this administration, have information on a terror attack. And what they choose to do is to issue a travel alert. That's very strange. Because what we expect them to do is to tell us who is going to attack, when the people are going to attack, and the nature of the attack, so that we can prevent it, rather than raising an unnecessary alarm. Now, if you look at the warning that they have issued, they are also talking about pickpockets and robbers and so on in Ghana, and therefore advising their citizens not to travel here or to be extra cautious. Is there any country in the world in which there are no pickpockets? Is there any country in the world in which there are no criminals? So I think this is most unfortunate. It's the most unfortunate travel alert. It raises unnecessary panic in our country. And I think that the United States and Canada ought to have been more responsible than they have been.
And so in this situation, if we have concerns, how should we handle it?
Well, I think this is a matter of national security. The national security should evaluate the threat and the panic that these alerts by Canada and the United States have raised in our society, and they should be in a better position to advise on what to do. Of course, they have the facts. We don't, we don't know whether indeed they've been informed by these countries about what is likely to happen. We don't know their own evaluation. But as quickly as possible, the Ghanaian National Security Establishment ought to be telling us something very, very quickly. Because there's a lot of panic in town. There's so much panic in town, and it's not good for economic development. It's not good for social cohesion. It's not good for everything and anything. So the National Security Establishment should be telling us something very quickly.
And we might have issues with whether Ghana is the only country that we know of pickpocketing or extortion, but at least we can't just whisk away the fact that terror threat is something Ghana should be worried about.
No, we should be worried about anything and everything that breeds insecurity. We should be worried about invisible. We should be worried about belts of muscle. We should be worried about petty trickery and so on. But for countries like the United States of America and Canada to issue travel alerts to their citizens at this level is very, very disturbing, extremely disturbing.
Because just before you leave us, this issue of the day marking the founding day of UGCC and the fact that there are concerns about rewriting the history of Ghana, is this what you think should decide which direction we'll go looking at developing this country?
My brother, I'm worried. I'm disturbed. I can't understand. Look, we are living in a country in which, over the last couple of months, fall armyworms have destroyed more than 100,000 hectares of farmland. I live in a country in which, within the last couple of months, we've had an outbreak of the African swine fever, killing hundreds, thousands of pigs. We are still living with bird flu. Last week, the Crop Research Institute issued a warning that we are dealing with the bacterial black spot disease, and mango plantations are in danger, and other crops are in danger. And what we're spending our resources and time on is whether we should spend 21st September or 4th August as Founders Day. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with our national leadership? We don't have anything to work out, and we behave as if everything is fine. Look, and oil is accounting for, a greater percentage of our GDP, and yet in the oil sector, our total interest is 13%. We are not worried about that. We are supposed to be a leading producer of gold, and we get less than 3% of the revenue from gold into our economy. We are not worried about that. I think this is really incredible. In any case, if you look at the historical facts, why should we move Founders Day from 21st September to August 4th? We are told that the Aborigines Rights Protection Society and the UGCC were founded on August 4th. Look, do you name your child at pregnancy or you name your child after birth? What is all this?
But if we're told that Dr. Nkrumah deliberately distorted the fact when he put in the motion of destiny on that day when he went to Parliament, should we not rewrite our history?
What did Nkrumah distort?
Yeah,
what fact did Nkrumah distort?
We're told he didn't name some members of the UGCC who were part of the process.
Oh my goodness, Nkrumah would have named 2 million people who took part in the struggle. He would have named, Nkrumah mentioned in his motion of destiny clearly the contribution of the UGCC. He mentioned clearly, read the document. Is that what you're trying to write today? Something which happened in 1958, we are trying to write it in 2017 with all the problems that confront us. What is wrong with us? My brother, what is wrong with us? Let us assume that it is true that Dan Kwa's name was not mentioned in. Is that sufficient ground for generating a national debate in this moment of crisis? In this moment when our national debt stock is rising? In this moment when we cannot meet revenue targets? What kind of a people are we and what leadership do we have?
I'm grateful, Kwesi, for your time this morning. Kwesi Pratt is the managing editor of the Inside newspaper. They're talking about a terror attack as well as the Founders Day issue. It won't go away, Johnny.
Yeah.
It keeps coming
And one
away.
thing that I want to take away from this conversation is whether or not you name your child at pregnancy or at birth. It cracked me up, but it has deep meaning.
Maybe if you're a celebrity.
If you're a celebrity. So what if you lose the baby at the labor ward? What do you do?
Wait,
you still have the name waiting.
You
are frustrated.
I am. I mean, I share his sentiments so much, and I don't know when we'll move away from this discussion and start focusing on things that will change.
I don't want my Friday to be messed up, so I don't want to be thinking about it.
Anyway, we are not perturbed at all. We'll take a break at this point. When we return, Senior Bright and his guest will be here with the news review segment. Stay with us on NewDay. We'll be right back. welcome and thank you very much for joining us. Let's get into the news review segment here on New Day. The Finder newspaper this morning reports that no more U.S. visa lottery. President Trump to cancel it as part of new measures to curb legal immigration levels. And UGCC anniversary lecture today as the 4th of August. 5 inmates escaped from Ofankor police cells. And the Daily Guide says EC boss in $14 million deal, limping pastor in sex scandal and terror attack to hit Ghana. It comes with a photo of our National Security Minister, Mr. Albert Kandapa. The Ghanaian Times this morning says 23 private security men busted in raid against misuse of police military accoutrements, and government calls for support to fight NHIS fraud. Parliament approves 1.3 billion cocoa board loan for 2017-2018 crop season. The Daily Graphic says Ghana's high rice imports. AFDB decries $400 million annual bill, and piles of refuse to test agenda to make Accra cleaner city. Speaker delivers lecture to mark formation of UGCC today. The Weekend today says we smokers take over public schools in Accra. And the Daily Heritage, of course, will perhaps end with that one. Daily Heritage says terrorists to attack Ghana, says UK and Canada, but security analysts dispel terror attack. And the BNFT says fiscal stability over growth agenda on point, the IEA. Ricky Kasise-Pepra is my guest this morning. He is from the Youth Enterprise Development Network. Chief, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. How's the Friday been so far for you?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Eric Chum is the Deputy CEO of the GIPC.
Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Sorry about that. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
Very well. How are you?
Very fine. Honorable Mohammed Aziz is the MP for Myong. It's my neighbor who doesn't visit. Good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm good.
Let's start off on the Founders' Day because it's crucial. It started sometime this week, and there's been talk. Earlier, there was talk about whether it should be apostrophe S or S apostrophe, and then we moved it from that day to the 21st of September, which was Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's day. Now we're being told of 4th August, which marks the 70 years after the first political party, the UGCC, was formed, which would have initiated the struggle for independence and all of that. But Mr. Kwesi Pratt says, do you name a child at birth, or do you name the child while the mother is still pregnant? Ricky, your thoughts about this?
Well, thank you very much. I am sad that I was not disappointed, because when the MPP won the elections, I knew this day was going to come. I knew the day will come when we will either add an S, an apostrophe, or, in fact, I didn't anticipate such a radical suggestion.
Okay.
Kwesi Pratt's statement may be dramatic.
Okay.
But we need to put it in context. If our Founders' Day was, we are celebrating it as Kwame Nkrumah's birthday, then that is consistent with what has been going on already. Now, the interesting thing is that the 4th August is not somebody's birthday. The 4th August is the day on which the UGCC was found. Whether we like it or not, if you went to primary school, you remember that we all know that the UGCC was the first party that was formed in the then Gold Coast.
Right.
And that, without much discussion, we all also know that they initiated the process of discussions. Some of us have decided that we will forget about the process and look at the end. We know that the UGCC has been criticized as having been slow to arrive at independence. And I have said on several occasions that actually there's no reason why Ghana should have a myriad political parties, because the only difference at that time was when. Independence now or independence gradually. And now we've had it. We've still managed to divide ourselves into smithereens of political persuasions. I'm saddened by the fact that this discussion is definitely going to take a political tone. And that is why I am not very comfortable with being the person to initiate this discussion this morning. Truth be told, the UGCC was the first party in this country. Right. That is not in doubt. Is it not possible, for example, to celebrate the founding of the first party and to celebrate the birthday of the first president? Why do they have to be mutually exclusive? I know we already have too many holidays in this country, but we can commemorate them with, if I may call it, flag-raising ceremonies, or a memorial lecture, or maybe a dinner for the glitterati in the banquet hall. But we are not going to be able to change history. UGCC was the first party in this country, and they initiated the discussion. They invited the Kwame Nkrumah, and apparently when he arrived, he thought that their pace was a bit slow for his liking, and then decided to branch out and then form the CPP. So the preeminence of the UGCC in this country cannot be denigrated.
Is it a case that you see a calculated attempt to rewrite the history of Ghana, as has been said on other platforms?
Look, some people have suggested other arms to this discussion.
Right.
The discussion that I'm trying to understand this morning is the place of the UGCC in the political momentum that arrived in independence.
Thank you.
And that, for me, is not a matter for debate. UGCC was the first, and credit must be given because they initiated it, and in their own intelligence and proactivity, they invited Kwame Nkrumah, who they found as a mobilizing guru. So let us remember that we don't necessarily have to celebrate one in place of the other. Let's put our history together. As for the adjunct discussion of alleged riggings, etc., that is a matter for the dustbin of trickery. That's all, as far as I'm concerned.
Eric, let me come to you at this point. Ricky says he saw this coming as soon as the MPP won the election. Did you have it under your sleeves as a government?
Well, thank you. And then thank you to my colleagues here. Good morning as well. And then good morning to the viewers out there. I think that it's almost simplistic to sort of start with an attack or a diatribe, if you want, against the MPP. And this is to do with history. And I think that
who's attacked?
I'm just let me make my point. You see,
but you need to say who is attacking who. If you say a diatribe.
No, but if you start a conversation by you're disappointed or you're happy, or and that this was something that you was actually expecting to surface when the MPP comes to power. For me, I think that's a bit unfortunate. But that's notwithstanding. I think that we're having a conversation about the history of this country. And like in history, you have different schools of thought. And I think on this particular point, we have two schools of thought as to what the real historical antecedents are in terms of how we actually been arrived where we are today as a country. Now, I'm glad that he made mention of the fact that when the UGCC was formed, the elements within the UGCC actually found it prudent to invite Kwame Nkrumah, President Nkrumah, to come into the fold of the UGCC, who actually happened to be the first General Secretary of the UGCC, to essentially come in and help mobilize. Now, I think that the point that most people on the side of the founders, asking with the S, is the fact that a lot of people played significant roles in our quest to gain independence. And it's imperative that everybody that actually, or individuals that played significant roles in our quest to gain independence should also be acknowledged.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I actually shudder when people actually say that, oh, by virtue of the fact that out of the UGCC, CPP was formed, Kwame Nkrumah became the first prime minister and then subsequently the first president. That, by extension, actually makes Kwame Nkrumah the founder of this country. I mean, so I can also disagree with Kwesi Pratt. And that's why I'm saying that it's history. And it's also about schools of thought as to what really should prevail. You can say that, for instance, we should celebrate the birthday of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president.
Which we do.
Which we do, you understand? And I mean, if I would remember, when this was actually sent to Parliament, there was a huge debate in Parliament as to if they should add an S and an apostrophe. So we can't feign ignorance, or we can't feign...
Is this to add on to our history?
No, that's what I'm saying. That it's not. Nobody's rewriting anything.
Right.
I mean, people like Kwesi Pratt and Co. can go on and sort of suggest that somebody's trying to rewrite their history. But in as much as Kwesi Pratt has an opinion, has a right to believe what he believes, I also have the same
should these things
as to what should pertain.
Eric, should these things take center stage, knowing that we have a lot of other issues as a country that we must solve? Accra is filthy. The president is promised to solve the filth problem in 4 years. We don't know what the roadmap is. So many other things.
You see,
should this take center stage?
There's a saying that says that a nation that refuses to honor its heroes is not worth dying for. Right? And that to it really means that in as much as we have important, salient things that we want to deal with, right, there's absolutely nothing wrong in actually imbibing that sort of patriotism that these individuals, men and women, actually brought to bear in our fight for independence. And now, if there's a time for us to actually inculcate, right, to even bring back that sort of patriotism, it's now.
Okay.
For me, I would sit on a certain angle and say that, okay, I believe that we should celebrate everybody who played a significant role. And that would not take away from somebody who also has a divergent opinion. I mean, and that shouldn't be really a problem. The point really is that it is an opportunity for Ghanaians to actually imbibe in ourselves the sort of patriotism that people like J.B. Dankwa, Pargan, John Mensah Saba, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, President Akufo-Addo, and all of them played in our quest to gain independence.
Thank you very much. Mo, let me pick your thoughts quickly on this one. You've heard both sides speak. Ricky has made this point clear that the facts are there. He says, well, he doesn't have challenges with it at all. If we must celebrate it, we must. What do you make of it?
Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleagues on the panel, and good morning to my constituency in Young. Some have argued that we should be talking about the challenges that faces us as a country today,
right,
and not necessarily bother ourselves with the history of this country. I would want to disagree. I think that in as much as we're making efforts to resolve the numerous challenges that faces us as a country, we have a duty to establish our history very well, and to make sure that the upcoming generation would have a clear understanding of where we are coming from as a country. I don't intend to take anything away from the UGCC, and for that matter, the Busia Dankwa tradition. But it is a fact that Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah played the leading role in Ghana attaining independence. That is a fact that nobody cannot erase. There have been several attempts to rewrite the history of this country. There have been several attempts to water down the contributions of Osagyefo. You see, we'll be pretending as a country if we want to ignore the roles that were played by some other individuals, like the other Big Five members. Right. We'll be unfair to ourselves. In fact, we'll be unfair to ourselves to think that Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was the only person who championed and fought for independence. In fact, the market women, the farmers, the then public servants, everybody contributed in a way to Ghana attaining independence. But of course, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah played the leading role. Nobody is disputing the fact that the UGCC is not the first political movement to have been formed in this country, and that Osagyefo came to Ghana at the instance of the other Big Five, because largely they were businessmen and elites who didn't have time to run UGCC as a political movement. Nobody is contesting that. But the fact still remains that Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah played a major role. He led the process. And that his effort is unparalleled.
The lecture will be held today. Quickly on that one, 30 seconds. What do you see?
You see, even before the lecture, some of us, if you listen to His Excellency the President on 6th of March, he had already given an indication of what we are seeing today. He had sought to trace the history right from the some 100 years or beyond to our current times, and the attempt was very clear in the President's speech. Today, I understand the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Speaker Mike Aaron Quay, would be speaking on that matter. I have read a couple of literature from his end on this very subject matter, and you can tell that it is a collective attempt by the Buze Dankwa tradition to distort the history, to undermine the efforts of Kwame Nkrumah, and to give credit to people who, of course, supported Kwame Nkrumah. Why? Independence within the shortest possible period or time is not same as independence now or never.
At this point, I have my independence. Thank you very much. And let's move on. Page 3 of the Daily Heritage newspaper says terrorists to attack Ghana. Ricky?
Yeah, I just wanted to, my brother Eric took me on rather, I was shocked because I think that he probably expected me to come on a certain angle and actually missed the beauty of my introduction. I said that I am surprised that I have not been shocked, or I'm shocked that I've not been surprised because I anticipated this. And there's nothing wrong about anticipating it because there were already rumblings of this, comma and S and so forth. So it was a statement of fact. But to arrive saying that it was a simplistic diatribe, that is a bit below the belt. But I'm used to it, so we can now.
It's okay, thank you. So the United Kingdom and Canadian governments have warned their citizens traveling to Ghana to be cautious of imminent terror attack. Though the country has not experienced any form of foreign attacks, the UK and Canadian government indicated that Ghana is a possible target for terrorism. And I remember that on the back of the attacks in Ivory Coast, in Burkina Faso, in Kenya, and Mali as well, we had our security operatives station MOACs and tanks and all of that at our malls in Accra, even at the junction near Flagstaff, as we had them. We don't see them anymore. Now we are being told of advisory or whatever it is that the security experts like to call it, to their respective citizens. Must we be worried as a people about the image, first of all, of our country in the eyes of the Committee of Nations? Ricky?
Yeah, first of all, the truth of the matter is an advisory. These things happen. In fact, Ghana Mission issues advisories to their citizens in certain countries outside of here. So it is an advisory that Canada, UK have happened to give an advisory around the same time. Yes, gives cause for considerable, alertness.
But to the extent, Ricky, that the advisory is supposed to be a silent administrative thing.
Yes, it is always a silent.
But this was published out there in the open. If you go onto the websites, you find them.
My brother, the United States and the UK, they have websites on which their citizens all over the world access this information. Times have changed. Once upon a time when these messages would have been sent to Motorola messages to where American citizens are found in the recipient country. Times have changed. However, it is not going to take these two travel advisories or warnings or alerts for us to actually know that commonsensically the way that terrorism has manifested itself in nearby Burkina and nearby Cote d'Ivoire and Mali, that the perpetual or continuous activity of Boko Haram in Nigeria, and the very fluid flow of people between the countries in the sub-region, it should not be a matter for us to dramatize. I think, and that is not to suggest that it shouldn't be taken seriously. We should have taken this seriously as a people already, if we have not. As to the visibility of MOACs and armored cars at places, the security gurus know what is important, what is required. The good thing about, quote-unquote, the good quote-unquote thing about terrorism is that it does not discriminate. If it comes, fortunately, it will get NDC people and MPP people and PMPs and everybody.
Okay.
So this is one issue on which our politicians should not be divided.
Are you scared that they would?
Well, somehow the impression I'm getting was that Honorable Ablakwa wanted to take the day as being the one who was making the clarion call. Maybe it was also because there was some palpable silence on the part of the government. But sometimes when things like this happen, you have to weigh the advantages of making a furore about it or just letting it go low. So these all, I think, at the bottom of all of this is when we elect people into government, we should invest them with trust. We should not second guess every move. If I were, and I have considerable security experience.
Okay.
I'm in my house and I think that, excuse me, say a snake is coming. I don't go yelling because I don't know, I can't control where the kids are going to run. I can't control how my wife is going to behave. Maybe I should go attack the snake.
Right.
And by the time they realize, what is happening, I say, oh, there was a snake, it's been killed.
Right.
Just an example. So sometimes it's not, oh, well, they said it's a terrorist. What is the government supposed to do? Get up and tell everybody to do what? So sometimes we need to take these things and not decide to make political hay out of it. Again, if the government had, at least at the parliamentary level, maybe brought it to their notice that, look, we are aware of this, that this alert may not actually be unusual. It may just have come at a time when some of us have held this information. But the president has briefings. If there is nothing, in his estimation, unusual about this, why should there be a big show?
Okay. Eric, I want us to pick up from where Ricky left off, and it comes to our security as a country, intelligence gathering. And here in this country, you find security operatives, national security, BNI operatives, who flaunt themselves out there with their gadgets and their pistols and their sidearms and everything. They tell everybody, I work at national security and everything else. In fact, if you go into some of the villages, you will find the national security or BNI operative. Everybody in the village knows that he is a BNI or national security person. That will forestall intelligence gathering. Must we be worried about that?
Well, thank you. In as much as we have challenges with sort of security setup sometimes, I mean, that probably is not up to standards or scratch with what happens or pertains in other parts of the world. You can't also discount the importance of the security agencies and what it is that they have done over the period to look at, in terms of our security, to be able to forestall insecurity. So that for me, I think is extremely important. Do we need to change some of the things that we do? Okay. Yes. Do we have to resource them and give them more equipment and tools to do their work? Yes, let's do that. But you see, on this particular issue, a statement has actually been issued by the Ministry of Information, signed by the Honorable Minister Mr. Ahmed, stating categorically that national security is on top. And you see, we already have a collaborative intelligence sharing mechanism with our allies. Okay. And so if there's something imminent, there are channels that particular communication would go through. And as we speak, per the statement, these are certainly routine cautions that are actually sent out to nationals of other countries when they are traveling. I would expect that it's not politicized. People don't use it as an opportunity to gain some 15 minutes.
Well, you are the politician.
Yeah,
Tell
15
us.
minutes.
Give us your word that you won't
15 minutes of
this.
fame. I haven't done such a thing. But what I'm saying is that it's imperative that even as individuals, as citizens, we all exude some sense of security, so that we were able to be alert and find out if there are certain things that are happening that are not necessarily going on right, to alert the necessary authorities to make sure that doesn't happen. We shouldn't do this thing as a one-off thing. It's to be something that should be part of our everyday, the fabric of our society, especially with the menace of terrorist attacks, and it actually has come as close as Burkina Faso, Mali, and Cote d'Ivoire. We shouldn't be thinking that we are different from any of the other countries, and make sure that we have those facilities, especially state and security facilities across the country, well, and then especially in also areas where there are a lot of people. I mean, you find lots of people, the malls and stadiums and all that. So making sure that the security there is also extremely tight. But that notwithstanding, like the statement said, I don't think that people should go about being too worried. There's nothing that
most of our hotels and, in fact, places that people frequent don't even have metal detectors. And that must be a cause for worry. I remember when the Burkina Faso incident broke, when we lost Professor Awono at Kenya, the Westgate Mall. We had that on the table as a major discussion. 3 years down the line, maybe 4, we seem to have forgotten about those, and we have left it to run.
Yes, I think that certainly we have to have some kind of conversation, or a policy conversation on how to man some of these facilities, which are essentially public areas. Now, it's important that the operators of those facilities are brought to task in terms of making sure that this is an environment where you would have necessarily a lot of people coming in there, and you need to be able to put in the right security measures to make sure that it doesn't happen. Apart from that, of course, there's a responsibility, the onus lies on government as the main protagonist when it comes to looking after the entire population, to make sure that we lead in that direction. So government facilities, security installations, and all of those things have to also be secured. But then I feel that we all, as like I stated earlier, as individuals as well, we need to be able to play our role. Now, if there are certain things that are meant to be there, I mean, we even have simple things as fire exits and making where people will assemble when there's an emergency and all of those things. It has to be clear. I mean, there are places where you go to, and even if you're there for 15 minutes, they take it upon themselves as a responsibility to show you what where the fire exits are. You know, that's not a culture that we have here. But it's about time we're able to do that. Even when the unfortunate happens, are we ready to be able to forestall it in terms of making sure that lots of lives are not lost and all of those things? So it's important that we start learning some of these things. I always keep saying that sometimes for us as a people, even when it comes to copying, either we are reluctant or we can't even copy. You know, I came to that child where you're writing an exams and then they end up copying your name.
Index numbers.
So it's important that these are things. So you're a hotel, and you have, and even some of our hotels have affiliates.
But they have regulatory bodies.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So if you have a hotel, for instance, in Ghana, that probably would have, not to mention it, have an affiliate in another country, in the UK, or a chain and all that. And you know for a fact that this is what pertains here. These are the specific things that happens there. So just copy what actually is being done there in Ghana. But in Ghana, it's also becomes a totally
and that's what I'm saying. That look, if for example you have a chain, like Ricky's saying, a chain, you have one in the UK, the US. Why can't we have the same specs in Ghana?
That is exactly
the regulatory body who must ensure, because out there they do ensure. Why can't we ensure?
No, okay, so like even when it comes to security, for instance, I mean, when it comes to the regulating, for instance, hotels and those facilities, is in the Ghana Tourism Authority. But when it comes to the security aspect of it, or fire exits, or making sure that they have fire control, then it becomes the responsibility of the fire service and the minute police and all that. So it has to be a collaborative thing. But my point is that there's also a responsibility on the managers of all of these facilities to make sure that we are going by the same global standards that
if there are no sanctions, they would not play.
I agree, but I mean that's what I'm saying. We have to get to a point where people take personal responsibility.
So you and government push for the
sanctions. Of course, so that people should be sanctioned if they are not doing the right thing.
You are in Parliament when Honourable Ambrose Derry came onto the floor and says that our police are ill-resourced, and that they were taking steps to resource the police. It's been some time since he made that statement on the floor of Parliament. Now we have a supposed terrorist attack or possible terrorist attack on our hands. Are we safe? You're a representative of the people in Parliament. What are we doing from Parliament?
In fact, terrorism has become a very big issue. It's a major challenge to all countries today. It's a transboundary challenge, and so countries have always collaborated in their attempt to deal with the issue of terrorism. And so Ghana as a country has also signed on to a lot of treaties and protocols, that aims at fighting terrorism. And the warning that is coming from the UK and Canada is not strange, it's not new. It's a regular practice that countries would want to send such warning to their nationals who are traveling out of the country. And so this is not the first time they've done that, even though I have a big challenge with the way that they do that.
What's your challenge?
They have a duty to protect their citizenry, but we also have a duty as a country to ensure the integrity and the safety of our country. If you read the alert, they are talking about pickpocketing,
right,
armed robbery, and other criminal activities. Those issues have been with us for a very long time.
So we shouldn't complain about
No, we should. But you see, you don't cite those issues as a basis for a possible terror attack on Ghana. Where in this world don't we have pickpocketers and armed robbery? And so we should not be raising the alarm, and trying to create some panic and fear among the Ghanaian public. And that is my worry. I remember somewhere early last year, President Mahama had to, at the instruction of President Mahama, anti-terrorism unit was established at the Ghana Police Service. And so let's see how we can use that department of the Ghana Police Service to deal decisively with some of these alerts. My worry has to do with the intelligence. What are we able to do in Ghana here through the national security and the BNI to pick up some of these intelligence? And my worry is that regrettably these institutions have become extremely partisan. Instead of dealing with issues of danger like this, they feed into the day-to-day MPP, NDC game of seizure of vehicles, investigating peoples, who had served in the previous regime and stuff. They should apply themselves to more serious issues. I'm not saying fighting corruption and investigating people is not a serious matter, but I think that occasionally we should be hearing them on some of these issues. Now, as a state, we must also be investing in our security.
That's what I'm asking. From Parliament, what is the conversation like? What does it look like from Parliament?
You see, Parliament...
Because we've been talking about it. Hold on. We've been talking about it. You see, when the fire service said that they can't fight fires beyond the 6th floor, they said it on the floor of Parliament to the Speaker of Parliament. You were all shaking for a moment, and then we allowed it to go. Recently, there was fire there.
At the 10th floor?
Yes, at the 10th floor.
Yeah.
The fire service did all they could, all their magic to fight it. But we know that they don't have the requisite capacity to fight it. What are we doing about it as Parliament?
Parliament can only act when the executive initiates the action.
But Speaker Michael Quay says he would want to run a Parliament where you initiate your own things.
We haven't reached there yet. He's talked about the members' bill. We haven't reached there yet. It's just a thinking that he has shared with us. And the
so when are we to reach there?
That will be at the behest of the Speaker and leadership. And so I cannot speak to that.
Right.
But I'm saying that investing in public institutions is a matter of the executive. Right. It is when they bring such issues to the floor of Parliament that would also give it some support. And so I'm saying that let us invest in our security agencies. They should do a lot of intelligence work. They should move away from the political vendetta and over patronage to political regimes and assure us that our country is safe. For instance, when you go to the West Hills malls, the one on the Kaswa Road, the huge numbers that you see there, go to Accra Mall, go to, come to Parliament, go to the
conference center.
I mean, everywhere, go to our airport, and you can tell that our security at such public gatherings is so loose and porous, and it gives me the cause to worry. For instance, in Parliament, it only takes you to have a V8 to drive through the at the entrance in Parliament. Once you are driving a V8 with your glasses rolled, you can be sure that nobody will stop you.
Because you all drive V8, so they assume that you are parliamentarians.
You see, we should have some checks, some protocols to be able to ensure that people who get closer to Parliament, the Flagstaff House, not just offices of state officials, but I've just cited an example of the mall, the West Hill Mall, the airport. We all use the airport, we all use the malls, and so after those attacks at Kenya and
Ivory Coast,
there was some visibility of military men at the Accra Mall. It has vanished. What has changed? And so I'm saying that let us apply ourselves more to these issues instead of engaging in the daily NDC, NPP attacks on each other, political vendetta, investigating people unnecessarily when indeed there are more serious issues to be dealt with.
Thank you very much. Yes.
No, just a quick one. I mean, I even mentioned of the airports. I have had a challenge with even the way vehicles are actually made to come to the airports. And then I think that the obsession is now that if the car parks there, then you actually go and clamp it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I've tried to understand because if you have an unmanned taxi that is allowed to come into the airport anyway, and then when the taxi now stops and picks somebody, then it's actually clamped and kept there for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
And you have to pay 100 Ghana cedis.
But it makes absolutely no sense to me.
Released.
We are too reactive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As we speak today, there has to be measures to make sure that if the car is coming through the airport, it's a taxi, for instance, it's unmanned and it's not registered, there has to be a way for it not to even get that close. To the point where you see people, there's always, every single occasion that I've been to the airport, there's an incident where somebody has been clamped. It's either a taxi or a car that has been clamped by virtue of the fact that it's not done the right thing. But because you can actually drive your car right in front of and that is, for me, it's unconscionable. So these are some of the little things that we can do to make sure that to forestall some of these problems.
Eric, the dangerous part is that somebody could have an unregistered vehicle, plant a bomb in it, and go and put it there. Once you clamp it, he gets out and walks away, detonates the bomb.
The clamping, you see, the clamping bit is something
what you don't get.
I don't really understand why it should get that close. You see, of course, you would have some intransigent drivers. That's not a problem. But if it's something that you know that, I'm sure if you take their records, there are probably 100 cars or 150 cars are clamped. So it's either it's a revenue generating scheme or it's a security scheme. And that is where we have to take it seriously.
Let Ricky have a bite quickly.
My worry quickly is that we are worried about metal detectors, we are worried about the visibility of the army. Those are all, without doubt, very necessary. But it's the psyche of the people. We ourselves must be very conscious. We need, in other jurisdictions, people actually care about other people's activities, and you can actually make a call, and the call will be picked up at a call center and be listened to. My brother, there is basically nowhere in this country that if anybody wants to do something, they cannot enter. Sometimes I go to GBC Clubhouse for meetings, and there are some soldiers sitting by, and they wave you past. My brother, even if you haven't been witness to a terrorist activity, let's watch movies. Okay? You go to Moving Pick, and they are wasting your time with some malfunctioning metal detectors. Meanwhile, there is a goods and services access at the back. You see, hotel managers should not think that it is those of us who are coming to their restaurants and meeting halls that maybe. We are not the only possible people. Where they go to buy their vegetables, etc.
Groceries.
Those people who bring in the gas cylinders. We need as a nation. Then we're talking about manning our security folks. And this is where I will take issue with my brothers, the politicians, again. We are employing people who are basically, some of them can't even read and write into the police service. As a a manifestation of the patronage. They can't read and write. Then we have police officers, I mean, I'm just using them as an example, who are not physically fit. I mean, they've acquired bellies of serious proportions. They are not even service ready. Okay? Then the other day I bumped into a young man who was wielding his national security gadget so ostentatiously. And he actually plays it horizontally. And I have a little bit of knowledge on that. And I said, if your system is properly done, you are giving an alarm at your control center.
Right.
Because this thing, when it's down in this position, it means that you, the user, are down. Because its standard position is supposed to be erect. Okay. Right. So it doesn't matter the number of gadgets we bring, because we may actually not understand them. It doesn't matter if the soldiers go and pack 2 MOACs there, because it's like he said, it's the drivers, the cars that are coming in and going. Ghana has enjoyed a long, blissful peace, and we are taking it for granted. I cannot end without talking about not only terrorists. What has happened to the Fulani menace? We have kept quiet about that. What has happened to the gradual flooding of this country by our neighbors from Nigeria? Not a single one of us here can tell us that they don't have a problem with the behavior of some of these foreigners who come into this country. But we are too politically smooth to engage these issues.
Anyway, thank you very much. Let's do some messages here. I'm sure you've generated a lot of them for us, so we'll take a look at them quickly, and then we'll wrap up the conversation here on New Day. It says, good morning, workers of TV3. The government should work on all the bad roads to prevent the frequent breakdown of vehicles. Notable example is the Bolga-Boku Road, which has been in bad state for more than a decade, and stop levying people. David from Bolga. My name is Yusuf from Mamobi. Please tell the government to stop towing vehicle. We don't need it. And tell the embassies to stop the fear and panic. They are liars. Good morning, Bright, Johnny, and Amma. You people are our saviors. You give us the best in and around the country. God richly bless you for that hard work. Please, Bright, help me seek answers from Ye. The promise to pay allowance before August. Till now, nothing has been done. Please, Bright, we are your brothers and sisters, and I call for your help, please. Joshua and Tamale. And this is Jagos from the Sound. He says, this Dentro Boasi Assemblyman Pa, what is he telling us? That he didn't kill Major Maxwell Mahama? Why has he forgotten that he was the one who organized the youth to beat Captain Mahama? So why is he now throwing dust into our eyes, claiming that he didn't kill him? Well, this is a sub judice issue, so let's move on. Well, good morning, TV3. So, like joke, the MPP has agreed to keep the Gitmo 2 guys in Ghana after they tagged them as being dangerous to Ghana's peace and security. The hypocrisy that we force to live with from the people we call leaders, from Osman Burikusang in Tamale. And why is it that of late MPP seems to be swerving your invitation? Is it their strategy to avoid the allegation, which they themselves know is true? MPP just came into power to facilitate their business, but the MPP rep is here. Good morning. Government or Parliament should rather make funds to reduce the cost of medication for hepatitis instead of increasing their salaries every 2 or 4 years. From Raman in Yampala. We are begging those terrorists, wherever they are from, to stay away from Ghana. We already have our own local terrorists, which have to be official. We don't want any further bedding. Anyway, all die be die. Big boy in Somalia. What is the essence of rewriting our history while we are sinking in filth? How will that correct the overgrown corruption that has engulfed our leaders? We have failed to prioritize our needs, hence we keep making mistakes. We are simply not serious in this country. God save us from these wicked leaders. John McCoy from Ketekrachi. And MPP, have you forgotten what caused NDC's downfall? Is because of jobs. Instead of allowing people who are due for pension to go and do replacement, you are also following the same NDC mistakes by giving contracts to them while the youth are still suffering. Abu from Tamale. I can't breathe well. The political contamination will plunge this country into chaos one day. Basic schools are unstaffed, while unprofessionally competent teachers are roaming the streets of this country jobless. This is injustice being perpetrated against the children of ordinary Ghanaians. We're asking the government of Ghana to employ our members to teach in the public schools across the country. Otherwise, we would picket the premises of the Ministry of Education. Alassane Bako, President of Unemployed Association. Good morning to you. I'm strongly against the formation of the various political party vigilante groups which could turn out to be terrorist groups like Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab. So I'm appealing to Parliament to pass a law against such an unconstitutional vigilante groups to save Mother Ghana from any future terrorist group. Greetings to my wife. Okay, thank you very much, Afrani. Good morning to TV3. You guys are doing a great job. MPP are now confronted with reality. You only deceive people to get power, but you can't get governing with lies. Shaibu from Zabsugu. As a people, we need to take serious concern about security issues in the country. Lynching and killing of security personnel is on the rise, which could trigger possibly terrorist attack. Both majority and minority should be on board in dealing with this UK-Canada alert. Inusa in Salaga. And maybe we should jump down a little bit. Okay, so the High Commission of Canada and UK are simply causing fear and panic in the country. The government should charge them for fear and panic. And you say, well, terrorist attack to hit Ghana, may God forbid. I still cannot comprehend why foreign countries have to tell us to tighten up our security because they sense the danger of terrorist attack. Upon all our security machinery, we cannot dictate our terror danger. It's shame unless outsiders have to tell us we are in charge. Alaji Wilefi in Efie Kumad. I'm sure we can rest on that one now and perhaps wrap up the conversation here. Thank you very much, Ricky Kasise Pipra. Grateful. I know you want to say something, but our time has run out. Eric Chum, Ghana Export Promotion Council, thank you very much. Authority.
Today you tried to do a disservice to.
No, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about because you have avoided me for a long time, and it's okay. And to Honorable Mohammed Abdulaziz, thank you very much as well. MP from Mio for coming. Grateful for you guys, and have a great Friday. We'll be back after this break.
Hi, good morning. My name is Yao Fusula. It's now time to do sports here on New Day, right here on TV3. But it's official, the world record transfer is complete. Paris Saint-Germain have signed Brazil forward Neymar for a world record fee of 222 million euros from Barcelona. The deal for the 25-year-old smashes the previous record set when Paul Pogba returned to Manchester United from Juventus for £89 million in August 2016. He will earn 45 million euros, which is tantamount to £40.7 million a year. Also, 782,000 pounds a week before tax from the initial 5-year deal, a total outlay of £400 million. That's quite staggering. Now, the French side have arranged a news conference for midday today. Neymar will then be introduced to fans on Saturday at PSG's first game of the season against Amiens at the Parc des Princes. PSG reached the last 8 of the Champions League last season, knocked out by a Neymar-inspired Barcelona, and were beaten to the French title by AS Monaco. So that's quite staggering. The Neymar's fee, very, very hefty there. But let's go to the discussion table now and speak to my colleague Thierry Nyan, who has just joined me in the studio. Thierry, good morning.
Hi, morning. Yeah.
Now we've seen the figures for Neymar's world record transfer. I mean, a lot of money that has gone into this one. I mean, if you look at the money that they've spent, is that worth getting someone like Neymar?
In your introduction, you said that it is the biggest deal that's been completed, and of course, it's summed up in the amounts that was spent. 222 million euros, much publicized out there. The salaries that he's going to be taking as well, absolutely mouth-watering. Before tax, he's going to be taking £750,000. After tax, £515,000. That is by no means, an easy thing, to get a player to do, and that obviously has attracted a lot of issues. Before this deal was signed, we would reckon that on Wednesday, Barcelona's representative said that Neymar's reps came to the training base and then dished out their amounts, and of course that goes in line with the FFP. He needed to buy himself out of the contracts that has to do with the release clause. He did that. Barcelona were actually a bit not too okay with it, and that's because of the FFP rules. They were scared, it was going to be breached. Obviously, they were also protecting one of their star players, In the end, all of that has been resolved, and it's because the European rule is that a club cannot spend more than 30 million euros of what exactly it earns in a particular season. With this particular one, they are not going to be overspending because remember, PSG are getting their funding mostly from Qatar, being where their owners are based. But Neymar as a player, 222 million. A lot of people have called it irrational, as in Wenger, the most, the biggest of the people criticizing, this particular deal.
Well, obviously.
Because he does not spend that much.
Exactly.
But when you look at the player in question, Neymar, he's a next big thing when you look at Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. A lot of people look at him and say he is the guy that can win the Ballon d'Or in the next 2 or 3 years. That is after the duopoly of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he worth that amount? I say every penny. And that is because we see defenders going for more than 50 million pounds these days. If you convert that to euros, that's over 70 million euros.
Exactly.
I mean, if a forward is going for an amount over 100 million, that's decent in this transfer window. If it's Neymar, then it should go more than 200 because that is the player we're looking at.
Exactly, but there's been lots of justifications for Neymar's transfer fee. I mean, when he signed for Barcelona in 2013, a lot of people said he was a YouTube sensation and he wasn't worth that much money. But after 105 goals, it looks like the tide of opinion has turned.
Yeah, you look back at the last 3 or 4 seasons he's been with Barcelona and the formidable partnership he struck with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. 2 other phenomenal players. But this guy made them better. Since they were all put together, the MSN, famous MSN, they've been scoring goals for fun. In his post on Instagram after completing this deal, he made mention of the MSN. He talked about the fact that he has actually struck a beautiful partnership with these guys that is going to endure forever. And that's because he knows exactly what he's achieved at Barcelona. He's won everything as an individual, and he's won everything as a player as well. And that's exactly what a player dreams of. The reason he's moving out of Barcelona is that he wants to step out of Lionel Messi's shadow. He feels he's always been in there, but never been the standout player. Obviously, when you play with Lionel Messi, you don't get to be the standout player. And that's what he wants to be. He's an ambitious player. And I think we should be giving him credit for that. A lot of people have said that he's moving for the money, but we should also understand he's moving because he's an ambitious player. He's a player who wants to achieve a lot more, and he does not want to always be in the shadows of another great. He wants to be his own player, and that's the reason he's going to PSG. He thinks he's going to be creating a legacy. Let's wait and see what exactly he'll be doing there.
Now, finally, what would you make of the farewell that he has received from his Barcelona fans? There was a touching video this morning on Twitter about Neymar and what he has done for the club and all of that. I mean, how it has bin handled. What do you make of it? Is it class?
It's obviously classy. Before the deal was officially signed, and even in the first few minutes or hours after it was signed, you could hear reports here and there that some Barcelona fans were burning his shirts here and there. I thought it was a bit too petty.
Yeah.
The guy was moving just like he came into the club. He's not a Totti or a Lionel Messi. He's not a one-man player, a one-club player.
Yeah.
He's moved from Barcelona from Santos to from Brazil Santos to Barcelona. Now he's going to be moving on to France, PSG. It sums up who he is. He's a Brazilian who never knows when to stop winning and when to stop being ambitious. And he keeps moving because he needs to be the kind of player that he's been dreaming of. Even in his Instagram post, he said he hopes that his father is going to back him for the second time because he's now, deferring what his father advised him. And that's because a lot of people have said it's his father that is pushing him to go for the money. The man is not for the money. He says it's really for the football.
Thank you very much, Thierry.
Thank you.
Now, in 1979, Trevor Francis signed for Nottingham Forest for £1 million. I mean, from that time till now, the transfer fees have skyrocketed, and Neymar has been signed for £200 million. But away from that, in the transfer news this morning, Diego Costa is still at war with Chelsea. Monaco have officially submitted a bid for Alexis Sanchez, and an Mbappe transfer to Real Madrid could see Bale move to United. Transfer stories coming up. Real Madrid boss Zinedine Zidane believes the club must sell winger Gareth Bale if they are to sign Monaco's 18-year-old forward Kylian Mbappe. Manchester United are tracking the situation at Real Madrid and are poised to make a $90 million offer for the Wales international. But the Red Devils boss Jose Mourinho is convinced he can sign Gareth Bale for less than £90 million. Chelsea striker Diego Costa will hand in a formal transfer request with the Premier League champions.
Costa's lawyer has threatened legal action against Chelsea after the Blues vetoed a loan move to Italian side AC Milan before a January return to former club Atletico Madrid after the Spanish side's transfer ban ends. French champions Monaco are preparing a £45 million bid for Arsenal and Chile forward Alexis Sanchez, who is entering his final year of his current contract. Tottenham are interested in Genoa forward Giovanni Simeone, the 22-year-old son of Atletico Madrid boss Diego Simeone. Everton boss Ronald Koeman is still hoping to sign another forward this summer, with Arsenal and French striker Olivier Giroud a potential target. Southampton defender Virgil van Dijk is likely to miss the opening game of the Premier League season, with his future looking increasingly uncertain. Chelsea are ready to challenge Liverpool for Van Dijk by offering the Saints £50 million for the Netherlands centre-back. Belgian side Anderlecht have entered the race to sign 31-year-old Barcelona defender Thomas Vermaelen, who is also a target for West Bromwich Albion. Now let's do some athletics now. And remember, the World Championship will not just be a Wade Van Niekerk moment and a high for other athletes. Ghana will be fully represented too. And here's the lowdown on the Ghana contingent.
Well, I guess you have heard of the MTN hitmaker reality show, the likes of Ko Ntakra and the rest, and the exciting ones that are making your days good. Now, the show is to support young and budding talents in music, and a lot of them are making great strides. 5 years ago, it was on. How far will it go, and how good has it been to these young guys in Ghana? My guest, three of them, will tell us all about that. To my extreme left is the Products and Services Controller at MTN, Jiwa Oche. Jiwa, good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing good. Grateful for your Friday morning with us. And then Jermaine is in the middle. He is the Media and Planning Manager at MTN. Good morning, too.
Good morning,
hope you're doing great.
Good.
And then the big man is right to my Hammond. He's a Director of Production at Charterhouse, but then he is the producer in charge of the MTN Hitmaker show. Gentlemen, good morning once again. Good morning. Let me start with Jermaine. You sit in the middle of this. So 5 years ago, this was thrown out. A lot of people have been very good at it, receiving all the support from MTN. What is it supposed to do?
Yeah, thank you. Hitmaker, as you said, yes, 5 years ago, that was in 2011. MTN conceptualized the idea and then we launched it. It's aimed at unearthing talent among the youth when it comes to music. And you know, for MTN, we support the music entertainment industry. So basically, that's what Hitmaker is supposed to do.
I see. And so continue. I'll quickly go to Jewel and come back to you. But Jewel, let me ask you this. The show is on once again. What would be the unique thing about this year's show?
Yeah, for this show, we are more of going towards the digital approach. You see, now you can sit in the comfort of your homes and submit your demos. We're using mtnplay.com.gh and even our WhatsApp lines. Previously, people would, contestants would have to go to our various service centers with their CDs and do the registration. They would have to fill the terms and conditions, everything. But now, due to the digital approach, you can do everything virtually on MTN Play and WhatsApp.
It gives the young guys a lot of room to take part in.
Wherever you are in Ghana, you can do it. Previously, we used to get few entries from the remote regions and those ones, but now due to this approach, they're able to submit their demos to these channels, and it's become very convenient and easy for them.
I see. Before Nick comes in, Jermaine, why is MTN so pursuing this?
We are pursuing it because we believe that there is potential among the youth in Ghana when it comes to music. Most of them has this talent, they have the edge to create, write their own music and produce it. So MTN believe that, look, let's support them financially. We created this show, reality show, they come on board, then we select the winner where we support him financially, and then we promote the person.
I see. Ni, come in. So what I do is to write. How do I get the chance to participate, take part in this show?
Okay, this show is not so much for writers. You can, because you could be a writer, but you don't sing or you don't rap. You just write.
Okay.
You get me. But what we're looking for is an all-round artist, especially one who can perform in terms of singing or rapping. So what we say is that wherever you are, you need to submit. As Joel was saying earlier, we started the show by getting people to record a demo and send it to, you get me. And then along the line, we moved to having auditions in 3 centers in the country, where people just move in to be auditioned. But we realized that all of those have limitations. So this year, what we've done is to go online. So all you need to do is sit in your home. If you have a demo, you can still go to mtnplay.com and upload it. Fill the terms and conditions, you sign to it, you fill and you upload the songs. If you are facing challenges in trying to upload a song, you can send it to the WhatsApp line. It's 055 13 00000. You just upload a song and that's about it. If you don't have a demo, but you have that talent, you can rap, you can sing, you can just pick your phone, record yourself, and send it in.
Send it.
And it's been
and
very
this is
exciting.
everyone is on WhatsApp or one other tool. So it's easy to do.
So it's very easy to do it, and that has led. I mean, in the first week of the launching of the program this year, we've had over 1,000 entries, which has never been the case before, and it's coming from all over Bogatanga, Bongo, Wenchi, Wa, everywhere.
You said that I write, but so if I write and also have the talent or have interest, can I still?
Yes.
I can.
You can, so because it's a plus.
So there's no criteria. Just come in if you have what it takes to be part.
That's it. Because with MTN Hitmaker, we're just not concerned about the vocal ability. We are concerned about making an artist. So writing is part of it. That's why in the competition you do your own song as well as cover songs. You get me? Unlike all the other music reality shows.
All right. Since we're running out of time, Jermaine, tell me before Joel will come in to tell me about what whoever wins takes or what he or she will get after winning. What is the level of investment MTN has put into this?
When it comes to the level of investment, we say you cannot quantify it. Why? Because we put you in the boot camp, you go, they train you, the contestants, they train you, they coach you, and all of this, you cannot put a figure to it and say, this is it.
It's huge.
It's very huge.
I see.
Very
Joel, and so after the person wins, what next for him or her?
Yeah, after the person wins, we don't throw away. What happens is that the person still, MTN still supports the person's music. We have a number of digital channels available to us. We have MTN Play, Music Plus, we have Caller Tunes. So after that, we even have the person's content up there. The person even generates revenue after the event. Even that is not all. Even after you've made it to the final stages, we have one content aggregator who signs you and puts all your content on our platform. So as the program goes on, you even get the opportunity to make revenue throughout the whole stages.
I see.
Yes.
You're a producer. Tell us, what are the previous winners? How are they doing?
Oh, they're doing well. I mean,
Kuntakra and the rest.
Kuntakra. I mean, Natia released his album Adole not too long ago, which is doing well. Kuntakra, I mean, just came down from France some few weeks back, having performed at a festival. And we have Kiddy, Togby, actually, he's also released his single with Kokese, and his album is getting ready to come out. We have Kiddy, who's released the Rama and many other tracks. You have Kel Songs, the last winner of season 5, whose track is also out and is coming out with the second single.
So they're doing great.
And not just the winners, but even those who participated in the competition and didn't win. You know, Eugene, for example. I mean, they are all doing so marvelously well. We've had Eugene actually winning the Ghana Music Awards Discovery. Going to Accra was nominated. You know, so they are all doing very, very well.
And the potential is good for those who are planning. Jimmy, let me give you the final word to those who are watching us and those who want to take part. Your final words for them, and then we'll wrap up the conversation.
Yes, for MTN, we believe in supporting the youth when it comes to music, unearthing their talent, and being able to help them to be able to create their music, write it, and produce it. And we are saying that watch out for more big things when it comes to the music entertainment industry. We'll support it.
I'm grateful. Jermaine is a media manager at MTN, talking to me. The Nia Hammond is the director of production Charterhouse, and also the producer of the MTN reality hit maker show. And you all is the product and services controller at MTN. Gentlemen, grateful for your Friday morning. And of course, don't just keep tracking them. Put in your own demo. You might get the opportunity. And they said all the tools are available. Just use them and be part of the show. Stay with us. We're yet to wrap up.
Thank you very much for staying with us here. Let's get into the Republic of Korea, South Korea, and I've got two of my guests here. Shin Min-shol is a consulate and Administrator Jin Ho-min as well has joined me. They're talking about the food contest that they've put together for just Ghanaians. And perhaps let me try my Korean dialect. Chon Ashim?
Yes, correct.
Wonderful. How are you doing?
Good morning. Yeah, we are wonderful.
Welcome.
Mama Baje se, Menia se, Maba TV show se.
You're speaking Chi. When you just saw my TV show. Nice one. So tell us about this concept of the food competition. What brought it up?
This contest is about the we would like to introduce Korean food to Ghanaians. So exchange of culture means. Yeah, we understand each other more, and then we can enrich our table with other cuisine from other culture.
Interesting. So when is it happening?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Where is
it
Saturday?
Tomorrow morning, we're gonna start at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Exactly. So in Akramo. Yeah,
right.
in Akramo, you know, food court.
Okay.
The Lumus restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where it's happening.
Yeah.
Who can participate?
Oh, any Ghanaian.
Any Ghanaian at all?
Yeah. Love to cook, especially Korean food.
Okay.
Anyone, any experience with the Korean food? So they already applied it, and then we fix it. Let's get the list.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 14.
14.
Yeah, 14 participants already.
What kind of Korean foods will they be cooking tomorrow, Shin Min-shol?
Yeah, now we are we like to introduce Korean fried chicken. So actually, fried chicken is originated from USA.
Okay.
Yeah, but we transformed that USA food to Korean food with spicy sauce. So it's very similar to Ghanaian food, Ghanaian chicken stew.
Yeah, something like that.
So
interesting there. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. That's it at the Kramo. What do they win? Do they win anything?
The winner.
Yes.
Yeah, rewards.
What do they get?
Rewards.
It's a secret. They get sika.
Yeah, confidential.
You want to tell us how? Because I mean, my viewers may be interested in winning some as well. So
yeah, it's a very honor. I mean, we prepared some the panel for the winner.
Right.
And then we got some photographies, and then actually, I tell the truth.
Okay.
The Skabiburi.
Sikabibri.
Yeah.
So the food, will it be free for everybody to taste?
Yeah, actually we just display for the crowded, and they come and enjoy that.
Okay.
General audience can come and taste, and then they can evaluate which one is best.
Yeah. So the audience will be the judges.
Yeah, audience judge.
Wow.
The system. Yeah.
Grateful. Thank you very much. We'll be there tomorrow to support you. Thank you very much, Shin Min-shol, is consulate at the South Korean embassy, and to you as well, Jin Ho-min. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you after the break right here on NewDay. That's the song from King's Kid. It says he's got his Jesus on and I got him in my corner. King's Kid, welcome. Sir. Good morning.
Thank you.
How are you doing? You look good.
Thank you.
Man, you got your Jesus on.
Yeah.
Since when?
Since, I mean, as far as I can remember, as far back as I can remember.
I see.
Yeah.
Nice one there. You're a multiple award winner. And you've been nominated for some key awards as well. Yes, how does it feel? How is the industry responding to you?
I'd say that now the response is really good. The beginning wasn't that easy because it was quite new. What I do was quite new to the Ghanaian market and stuff. But I mean, with every new thing, if you persevere and you do your work right, and as a Christian, you add prayer to it, it will work. So for now, I think it's really being accepted.
I see. Interesting that you've got a show coming up.
Yeah.
The crowd are cheering and everything else. Tell me about the show.
The Amplified concert is happening tomorrow, which is the 5th of August at the KICC Dominion Center.
Okay.
That's at 12 p.m. We have a lot of fun surprises. Amplified is a youth movement, is a vision and an idea that God gave me for the youth of this country and beyond to get them to amplify their God-given potentials. Because in this part of the world, following your dreams and pursuing your destiny or your dreams is misinterpreted as you being lazy or as you looking for the easy way out. But Amplified is a vision to inspire all the youth to, as it were, follow their dreams, because in all of us, God placed something in us. So we're just inspiring people. You're going to come and meet people, or let me say heroes, who have been able to follow their dreams. And
for example, give us examples.
We have a lot of fun surprises. We have some of the mainstream gospel artists coming through. We have, I think we have Nasi, Ohima Mercy, a few people passing through to support. But we have some of the urban gospel acts on it as well. Preachers, Regardless, E-Rock. There's going to be a fashion show. It's just a lot of fun stuff.
So where is it happening?
KICC Dominion
KICC.
Center.
Is it free?
Totally free.
Absolutely free.
Absolutely.
What can we wear? Should we swag up?
Yeah, I mean, you can swag up but look decent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swag up but look decent.
Yeah.
So you can get your Jesus on. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
starting in the morning.
Starting at 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Yeah. There are going to be free buses at the Coca-Cola roundabout and at Accra Mall to convey people there. Trust me, it's going to be
awesome.
Excellent. Yeah.
Awesome.
Although it's free, you come and see a lot of excellent.
Is there a new song coming up?
Yes, I have a new one called Shoe Shine.
Shoe Shine?
Yeah. We'll be premiering the video to that there. Was shot by Prince Dovlo.
Right.
And another one shot in Nairobi as well.
King's Kid, grateful for your time. Thank you. And we'll be there tomorrow to support you.
Thank you.
Let me say quickly, good morning to you. And congratulations to my brother Andrew Okine of the Prudential Bank and Agnes Bankson. You're getting married tomorrow. You call yourselves Cookie Drew and you love King's Kid. And to you, Mavis Kablas, for watching us live. We'll be back after this to wrap up the show. Oh man, we're having our own fun. Guys, you're having our own fun there. Happy birthday to you, Abiba Odenke. It's your birthday today, and to Mrs. Esther Seyusu as well. Happy birthday to you.
And happy birthday to Blessing.
Okay.
Blessing, she's here. I've forgotten her surname. I'm
Blessing.
Blessing.
Because I was wondering, it's the only Igbo people they use blessing, courage, love,
she's a very lovely lady who works
joy,
with us here. She helps
Savior.
The place ready for us to work. Thank you. And God
blessing.
bless
Happy
you.
birthday. Xavier, blessing.
Yes, it's
peace, love, and all those names.
Happiness, joy.
Yeah, happiness, joy. Yeah.
His grace.
Yes, His grace. Yes, her grace as well. Yes,
it's enough for me.
Yes. Speaking of His grace, to you, Right Reverend Dr. Daniel Sylvanus Bensato, to Anglican Bishop of Accra. It's your 5th anniversary on the throne. We wish you all the best. Enjoy and stay focused and let the church grow.
Getting married tomorrow as well.
She is
tomorrow
selling away.
Paru, that's the hashtag.
Paru
2017.
She's getting married.
Yeah, she's getting married to her best friend. So I'll be there. I'll be reading.
So after your friends married, then we'll talk about.
Us. Anyway, hashtag Cookie Drew, and to our friends at Prudential Bank, Evelyn and the rest of the team. Good morning to you.
So my hashtag with bride's bees.
You're Amma, his bride. So. Bright Ama.
No, Ama.
Brahma.
Or Brahma or Ama Bright.
John, you're an Anglican.
Yeah.
So you've been a mass server before.
Yeah.
So you can bless this marriage here.
Yeah, of course.
Here.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, Dominos too. You promised to sing. You promised to sing. So we wrap up.
But I said at the end of the
He
year,
promised to dance, and he only does that behind the scenes. He's shaking some
I am still fine-tuning the voice for.
You're giving me a whole year to do that.
That special day.
Okay.
So viewers will just have to keep watching.
Okay, I understand you like Amachide, so I'll sing for you. Odom pipa neni nishe.
Today, Brighthead Sinacha was like, is that much he did? And I was amazed. Anyway,
guys, have a great Friday. I'll see you later on Radio 3FM 92.7, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. with Community Connect. You've got to listen.
And we'll be here on Monday. So
Sure.
see, have a lovely weekend. Stay blessed.
Yeah.
Don't do what I wouldn't do.
Oh no! What do you do that people must not do? What? Please do some of the things that will make you understand. More of them.
Do what pleases God. That's all. Have a blessed day.
Well, do some of the things, Mrs. Dugan. You know the things that you do.
Okay, give more injections.
Yes, more injections. Yeah.